Hey y'all, we are Hannah and Jeremy from the Savory Suitcase. Today we are counting down the top 10 food and beverage experiences we had on the Celebrity Ascent. This is the final installment in our Ascent series. So far we have shared an in-depth look at the ship with a tour of many of the different venues, as well as videos from all of the ports that we visited: San Juan, Puerto Rico, Tortola, and St. Kitts. On this episode, we will dive deeper into the food and beverage experiences on the ship. The Edge-class ships have a unique dining experience where there are multiple main dining rooms to choose from, each with their own exclusive items themed to that restaurant, as well as offering the classics available across all restaurants. In addition to the included restaurants, there are also a number of specialty restaurants on board. We did not try all of them, like Raw on 5 and the Steakhouse, but we did make it to about half. The specialty restaurants range in price, most with a specific cover charge and some with an a la carte menu pricing.
In addition to the dining rooms, there is also the Ocean View Cafe, the buffet that's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes it was basically empty, but sometimes it was also pretty full. On the last day, they offered a special going away buffet which had shrimp and crawfish and some specialty dishes, as well as a chocolate fondue fountain. We even saw 50% of the captains there. There are also a number of quick service restaurants on board, including the cafe for specialty coffees, the Mast Grill and the Gelateria, where you could get unlimited soft serve. Towards the aft of the ship, you could find the nearly 24-hour pizza place. We recommend enjoying it with sunset views.
Now that we've had a quick overview of some of the dining venues on the Ascent, let's rank our dining experiences from the so-so to the extraordinary. Starting with number 10, room service. More specifically, room service for breakfast. We did not try the room service for any other meal other than breakfast, but it was certainly a letdown considering how fantastic the rest of the meals were. There was an option for a complimentary continental breakfast, but there was also an option to add items from the premium menu, which added a $9.95 room service charge, as well as the standard gratuity for the waitstaff. This was a nice option to not have to fight with the buffet on port mornings, but the food did not wow us.
Number 9, Cafe El Baccio. Cafe El Baccio, and truthfully any of the places where coffee was served, were kind of disappointing for us. We're big coffee drinkers, and specifically we drink iced coffee the majority of the time. And although they did offer iced coffee on board, it always seemed like an afterthought, not a specialty item. We've sailed previously on Princess ships and were very happy with their coffee options, so we were missing a good cup of coffee each morning.
Number 8, Cyprus. Cyprus is the Mediterranean-themed main dining room on board. We dined here on the last night of the cruise, and despite having the best artwork on the ship and the waitstaff being so much fun, they even sang happy birthday to Jeremy, the food was definitely not our favorite. We sampled some of the Cyprus exclusive, like the meze board and grilled octopus. For the main course, we tried the short rib and the lamb shank. It was all just a little underwhelming. The dish we ended up liking the most was the cheese tortellini, which was on the traditional menu and available at any of the other dining rooms as well. We also picked dessert as well. However, the only exclusive Cyprus dessert option was not appealing to us, so we went with one of the classics.
Number 7, Pizza, Mast Grill, Quick Service. We are going to lump all of the quick service restaurants in together because they were all about the same level of quality. We made the mistake of trying to visit the Mast Grill at lunchtime on the first sea day and ended up in quite the sea of people who had the same idea. Overall, the burgers were good and the soft serve was plentiful, so I don't think that you could really ask for more. We found the pizza to be pretty good, although it's not totally 24 hours like on some cruise lines. There are also a few quick service options that we didn't try, but Eden Cafe is available for breakfast and I believe lunch on sea days. and the spa cafe and the juice bar, which are located near the solarium pool. It seemed like no matter where you landed on the ship, you weren't too far from a quick bite to eat, and it was all pretty good.
Number 6, the magic carpet. The magic carpet is more than just a dining option. The magic carpet is a full experience. During the day, it is typically up on deck 14 or 16 and functions as a bar and really kind of a lounge hangout spot, with some of the best views from the ship. In the evenings, the magic carpet is lowered down onto the 5th deck, where it transforms into a dining space where it offers raw on 5 favorites as well as its own unique menu. We did not book this experience, instead opting to spend our budget on some of the other restaurants, but we did take advantage of our drink package multiple times while it was up on deck 14 during the day. I could definitely see this being a really neat place to spend sail away.
Number 5, the Ocean View Cafe. The Ocean View Cafe is the buffet that's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You might be surprised to see the buffet so high on our list, but we found the food on the buffet to be quite good, with a large variety always available. For breakfast, they even had a made-to-order Eggs Benedict, which, if you know us, that's a big win. Sometimes it was basically empty, but sometimes it was very, very full, like on Embarkation Day. But stay tuned because we have a special tip for Embarkation Day. It was also quite a popular spot on the last day when they offered their special going away buffet that had shrimp, crawfish, and some specialty dishes, as well as a chocolate fondue fountain. I'm going to use this as a moment to talk a little bit about the desserts. We found the desserts to be one of the most underwhelming parts of the entire dining experience. At the Ocean View Cafe, we always found the small little desserts to be dry and kind of simple. We also found the desserts at the restaurants a little uninspired most nights, but you could always find a good classic piece of cheesecake or apple pie.
Number 4, the Martini Bar. The Martini Bar is the center of the action in the Grand Plaza. Under the ship's grand chandelier, you'll find the bar, usually packed with guests, and about 5 and 10 p.m. each evening, you'll see quite the show. The bar falls quite high on our list because not only is it a super fun atmosphere, but because the drinks were also very good. Notably, if you do have a standard drink package, the martinis are more than what's covered, so you will have to pay the difference. We found it to be about $7 per drink. We'd also like to make an honorable mention to the Eden Bar. Although not as fun as the show at the Martini Bar, Eden also had bartenders with quite a flair. We found the drinks at Eden to be a little more obscure, but they were also pretty good. Number 3, the main dining rooms, Cosmopolitan, Normandy, and Tuscany. We are grouping the other 3 main dining rooms together as number 3, given that they were all about the same quality for us. Our first night was in Tuscany. This is an Italian-themed restaurant offering some traditional pasta dishes. We did a mix of the Tuscany exclusives and the traditional main dining room options, ordering the French onion soup, bruschetta, which my mom said was good but unusual. We had the pumpkin salad and carbonara, a good sampling for the first night.
We also need to note that the cannoli was not a ricotta filling. It was whipped cream, and for this Italian's heart, that's almost enough to disqualify them from the list altogether. The next day, we visited Normandy, which features contemporary French cuisine. We noticed the service was a little slow, this being the only night that our table was not ready during our reservation time. So maybe not the best choice if you're trying to make it to a show that evening. We ordered the baked brie and the coquille Saint-Jacques, which is a scallop dish, as well as a wedge salad and a rigatoni dish. Seems a little haphazard for French cuisine.
The Cosmopolitan is a modern take on the classic cruise ship main dining room, or MDR. We ended up dining here a few times, as this is also where they serve breakfast, which is arguably better than the room service breakfast. We picked the fancy night to dine here, but it was the first one which did not include the steak and lobster menu. We were unfortunately at a specialty restaurant the second fancy night. We ordered a classic French onion soup as well as the corn soup. Jeremy tried the cauliflower flan, which he said was surprisingly good. The entrees were picked were steak Diane, a spaghetti and cheese, and the salmon, which was cooked pretty well.
Number 2. Le Grand Bistro and La Petite Chef. Le Grand Bistro is a classic French bistro with a singular cover charge. In the evening, it transforms into La Petite Chef, which is both a meal and an animated show. We visited Le Grand Bistro twice. Once was for the lunch menu, which we did on the first day before we sailed away, since the buffet is usually very busy on embarkation day. This ended up being one of the best meals that we had on board, and definitely did set a good tone for the rest of the cruise. Fitting in with the French theme, we had the lobster bisque and French onion soup, and we also ordered the lavender lemonade, which was not covered by the dining cover charge, however, was covered by our drink package. We also ordered the double cheeseburger, which may have been one of the best that we've had in a long time.
On one of the last sea days, we headed back to the bistro for the La Petite Chef experience. This is a one-of-a-kind experience that is really unlike anything we've ever done before. There's a projection mapping that creates a visually immersive experience right at the dining room table. The story takes you through the journey of a little chef who has big dreams. This was such a fun experience, and there was a prefix menu that went right along with the show. We found the food to be quite good.
Magical recipes to solve all sorts of problems, such as Greek salad to make you 10 years younger, strawberry chocolate cake to make everyone adore you, and garlic and oil spaghetti that protects you against vampires, and your mother-in-law deeper into the thick underworld of fairy dust. By creating the magical soup, Le Petit Chef summoned a powerful spirit into being. But before we continue with our story...
Merci, c'est très gentil.
S'il vous plaît.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a bit too small. But what problem? I have an ID. Wow, cool. It worked. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Oh.
Hé, petit chef, je t'ai apporté des champignons frais.
Ah, super, Brigitte. François, can I borrow your umbrella?
Yes.
Merci. Merci, Pascal. Vraiment délicieux. Hop là. And now the finishing touch. Yeah. Hop. Hop là. I present to you the world record-breaking largest beef en croûte. Bon appétit. Oh, wow. Magnifique. Great teamwork, mes amis. Raspberry coulis. Oh, guys, there's nothing left for me to create a dessert with.
Oh, don't worry, there's more food in Candyland!
Okay, but this time leave some ingredients for my dessert.
Of course, we're no longer hungry! Oh, that looks so delicious! Candyland!
Come on, guys, stop eating everything!
Thank you.
Oh no, what are you doing? Arrête! Leave something for me! I've nothing left. No ice cream left, no more wishes, not even my old worn out kitchen.
Oh, poor petit chef. No need to be so melodramatic.
Oh wow, merci Paris! You're the best.
De rien.
And so, Le Petit Chef learned a valuable lesson. He came to realize that there are no magical shortcuts in life, and decided never to use the book again and to throw away the key. le Petit chef decided to throw away the key.
Yeah, it might still come in handy later, just in case the world is invaded by vampires, or my mother-in-law gives me trouble.
Oh dear. Well,
Number 1. The Rooftop Garden Grill. Hands down, the Rooftop Garden Grill was the best dining experience we had during the entire 7-night sailing. We planned this dinner so that it was on the day that we were leaving Tortola around sunset as we sat down for our meal. This is also a per-person cover charge, which includes whatever you choose off the menu. Everything about this experience was extraordinary. Our waiter was great, helping us pick from the menu options. The ambiance was so beautiful, especially as we left port, and although they didn't have any control over this, the weather was also great. Interestingly, they do not serve bread at this restaurant, because they must know that the portions are plenty big. For appetizers, we ordered the crispy cauliflower, pork sliders, and a feta watermelon salad. A little insider tip we learned from the waiter is that all of the steaks at the Rooftop Garden Grill are also the same as the ones served in the steakhouse. So my dad ordered a ribeye, and I had the WTF burger. The Rooftop Grill was also the one exception to the disappointing desserts, with a few different options, but the waiter highly recommended the cookie skillet. I ordered the mason jar s'mores, and the waiter still brought me a cookie because he knew I would want it, and he was not wrong.
There are definitely other dining options that we didn't try and will hopefully have a chance to try next time, like Luminate at the Retreat and Blue, which is reserved for the high-class staterooms. Although we didn't try the steakhouse or eat in restaurant, we feel like we had a good sampling of the dining options. Let us know if you're planning a trip on the Ascent and what restaurants you would put on your must-try list.
Thanks for joining us for this Celebrity Ascent cruise series. We hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the meals that we enjoyed. And if you want to see the full ship tour or any other ports we visited, we will put a playlist down below. If you liked this video, please leave us a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and we will see you next time.